Cooking bloke. Today I'm mixing it up and I'm just gonna be whacking a load of things in a pot to make some sort of a chicken casserole. Wow, a bit of liquid bread. So, what I generally do, I look at what I've got, i.e. what fresh vegetables I've got in the fridge, anything like that really, what meat I've got in the freezer. And so I thought, well, first and foremost, I cooked the whole chicken a couple of days ago, and so I've got all the fat from the chicken which came out of the baking tray in there, and this is the stock from the chicken carcass which was boiled down for like well over 2 hours, probably about 3 hours, and so gonna use that. Then I'm going to put a couple more chicken stock in. Then I'm going to put a chicken casserole mix in. Mainly I'm using this because it's got the flour in it, which is going to give the thickening consistency. Because basically, you know, this is just a few herbs and a bit of chicken stock, and so, you know, no big deal in that, but convenience more than anything. If I didn't have one of those, then I'd put my own flour in, you know, or gravy granules, because that's got the same in. It's got a thickening agent, which is the flour. So I just toss a load of gravy granules in. But no idea what this is going to be working out like. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to put a handsome amount of olive oil in that. Then I'm going to put my whole onion and a whole garlic onion, put them in there, and going to bang those on the heat straight away, get them going, and then I've got the courgettes. I've got some celery, and I thought, well, I'll just bang the celery in also. And then I've got 4 leeks, so it's kind of like chicken leek casserole with the courgettes and celery. And then I already had some boiled new potatoes and some butter beans, and so I thought, well, they'll go in. Can't think what I'm going to be eating them with. So a whole bunch of bacon, because I've got quite a lot of bacon in the freezer still. So just sort the chicken out. No music today. I just thought. Because with some music, the video gets restricted from certain parts of the world, and so. Now, let's have a look at this. I always like to get off the sinew. I don't like the sinew. Take that off. Just those little bits like that, and I'll throw them out to the jackdaws. Jackdaws love that. They absolutely love that. So then I will just roughly dice this up, and I'm going to be browning this with the onions. So there we have that, the bacon, put that into strips. So it's going to be a tasty casserole by all accounts, with all the stock and the casserole mix. It's going to be something, people. And so, stir the onions, right? And what I'm also doing, I bought extra courgettes, and I'm going to boil up some vinegar, and I'm going to make my own pickled courgettes, because they're absolutely amazing. So, got the vinegar here. And when you're doing just little things like this, if you come over here, I don't think lots of people will think along these lines, but I always think for efficiency. So I've got to think how much vinegar I want to boil up, because I don't want to be boiling up more than I need and then putting it back into the container. So obviously you put your courgettes in the jar, and then you fill the jar up with water to see exactly how much vinegar you're going to need. Then I've poured that back out into the jar, so I'm going to need 2 times that. So I've got this jar here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this, stir that like that. I'm going to get my saucepan out and put that on the light. Then I'm going to put the vinegar in here. So I need 2 times that. So, and I'll actually go over to take into consideration the evaporation. Now what I've done is, every time I have some pickled foods in jars, they invariably of course have the herbs in there, so I just pour the vinegar into here. I don't throw it away because it's already spicy. So I'm going to pour this in this saucepan. And then do that amount again. Right, perfect mundo. So I don't need these 2 jars. So keep them, those 2 lids, put those lids back in there. Put the vinegar away. Now, back over here, I'm going to, onion getting a little bit burnt there. All that's for the flavour, people. Bang the meat in. Warm that up. Turn it down. So let that do that. Whilst that's doing that, I'm going to right, what I'm going to do is get ready to pour the chicken stock in. And this really, really fatty stuff, the stuff that all came out of the chicken in the baking tray. Now I don't really know what the benefit of browning up meat is to seal it in, you know. I don't know what truth there is to that, but I've done it a little bit, and so I'm going to bang that straight in there. Wow. And then put this in, look at this. Now some of you will say, oh, if you want to lose weight then you don't want to be drinking that. Well, I want something to be really, really tasty. So I'm making no compromises there. I also like a couple of beers. I'm making no compromises there. You see, what I will do, I'll work harder. And the summer's almost upon us. I'll be cycling almost every day for 6.5 miles. I'll go to the gym every day. I'll be walking and, you know, nature walks, foraging. Just cut out breakfast most days. So this chicken casserole, that can go in there now. So bang that in. And I was thinking whether I put some chilies in, and I thought, I don't know, you know, chicken casserole with chilies, not sure. I think just black pepper, a lot of black pepper. If we've got black peppercorns, yeah, like this. So I think, uh-oh, it's one of those jars that you can't actually do that. So. Just have to grind it in. Okay, so while that's doing that, I'm going to chop up these veg and get those in. In actual fact, because there's such a lot here, I think I'll top up those jars. Otherwise, I think I'll get courgette overload. So, just put it like that. Oh, they're so good, they're so good. So anyway, these in the pot. These over here. These in the pot. So let's have a look at the pot. What are we doing? Pot. Vinegar's boiling. Okay. Right then. Just going to pour these in here. Woo! Right. So I put a little bit more in, anticipating a little bit more evaporation. So whilst that is piping hot, I'm going to put the lids on, because that will cause a vacuum in there when it cools down and seal those. So they're done. Look at those babies. Yeah, and I suppose a couple of weeks they'll be nice. They'll be nice and pickled. So they can go over there. Down here, I'm just gonna put these celery in. Beautiful. Bang them in the top there. Yep. Yeah. Leeks. Delicious leeks. And plenty of them. stuff around here. Right, what we're looking like? We're looking like we've got some sort of a chicken casserole going on. Chicken and bacon casserole. Now, for seasoning, I think I'll just, if I had whole peppercorns, I'd be banging a very large helping of those. But I don't have the whole peppercorns. I mean, ideally, I just break that open, because I think it'll take a while before I get the right amount. But you know, what I'll do is I'll just keep tasting it as it starts to boil down to see if I need any more. Now, it's not very thick at all, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to taste it, see what that tastes like so far. It's pretty tasty, but I think I'll put another one of these in. And then, if it's still not tasty enough, I'll put the chicken stock in. So that should thicken it up a little bit more. Yeah, it's looking better already. Now I'm going to turn that back up to maximum heat. And the potatoes and butter beans, I'll put those in right at the end. No point in putting them in now because they'll only go mushy. And it's just a case of, do I need some mixed herbs? Do I feel like putting a few chilies in? I don't think I'll go for the chilies. I might bang some paprika in. I might very well do that. So I think the thing is to do is to let that settle for like half an hour and taste it along the way, and then maybe bang some paprika in. Now, my friend who's always leaving the gifts, he left me paprika, brand new, cardamom pods, garlic, green chilies, because I told him I wanted to make one of the curries that he makes, and so I'm just waiting for the recipe from him, and then I'll do that. So look at that, you know, this guy, you know, these are not exactly cheap. I would think, like, you know, most certainly £2 or £3 a piece, most certainly this, and you know, he's just always doing that. He's a lonely bloke. He only has his son go round there from time to time. He suffered from anxiety for many years. He does a little bit of work now and again, but never lasts long in the job before they boot him out. He's hyper, always kind of nervous all the time, and always talking. And when he first came here, a couple of years ago, in the summer times, that's all you could ever hear. And every time someone said something, he'd be laughing and clapping his hands, ha 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 ha. And it's kind of like, oh, this is no people's home, dude. You know, there's people just upstairs waiting to die. There's lots of people waiting to die in this building. And I went, you know, we got to calm it down a little bit. Okay, man, okay, yeah, okay, well, yeah, you're right, and all this business. And so it is upset a few people because he never stops talking, and people just want to go out and sunbathe, and they want to sit there maybe with a beer or with a coffee and just listen to the birds. But when he's around, nobody can do that. And it's kind of like it was the talk of the little, you know, community, you know, fucking mouth and this and that. I said, well, why don't you just say you just don't want to talk? Yeah, I do, I told him, but he don't stop me. He doesn't listen, he can't help it. But you know, people is people. Nothing stranger than people. Nothing stranger than folk. So that's it, guys and gals. I'll get back to you. Let me just taste it. Let me just check it out one more time. Now that extra casserole mix is in there. And you see, by the time the bacon is, you know, proper cooked and all the fat's going to come out of that, and then by the time the vegetables settle down and the onions and the garlic get nicely cooked, that's going to accentuate the taste. So let me just see what we're dealing with. Well, it's very rich. It's fatty enough because of that half a cup of pure chicken fat, but I think it just lacks a bit of salt. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these chicken stocks in. This is, of course, it's a lot of fat in these. You can see how soft they are, and so there's a lot of fat in there, very, very tasty. So sprinkle that in, and I may even put another one in, but what I'm going to do is, before I get carried away and make it too salty, I'm going to let that settle. Wow, oh my goodness. And so this then is a super healthy meal. You could say there's a lot of fat in there. Yeah, there's a lot of fat in there, but the body needs animal fat, and it's all in proportion, you know, it's all in proportion. See, what I can't do, I can't sacrifice the taste of food for the reduction in calories, because invariably if you want a very, very reduced calorie dish, then it doesn't taste of anything unless you've banged in all different sorts of herbs. It's kind of like, well, fucking hell, I mean, there's a limit to what herbs you can put in stuff, right? Anyway, I'm going to tidy up the kitchen and I'll see you guys later.